Are financial advisors worth it? Okay, welcome back to the channel. For anyone who's been following for a while, I'm back to my white shirt now. Okay, so this is a really important topic and something I'd like to go into in detail today. So I'm going to be starting off with what I think is a really good quote from Forbes on this topic. So ultimately, whether or not a financial advisor will be worth your money depends on your specific situation and the financial advisor you choose to team up with. If they align to your goals, listen to your needs, and act in your best interest, they will most likely be a good financial investment. So, what does this really mean for you as a client? So, when we're looking at our client bank, I would say 99.9% of the clients who come through the website really do need and probably should have taken financial planning advice a long time ago. There is that very small amount of people in the world, I would say, when we talk about UK pensions, who potentially don't need or wouldn't get any value from a financial advisor. Going through a financial advice process for the majority of my clients is normally a bit of a eureka moment for them. Most people don't get financial advice in their 20s. They don't get financial advice in their 30s. Why? Because they maybe didn't have enough money or think they didn't need it. In their 40s, they start thinking about financial planning. A lot of them don't actually do anything until their 50s or even their 60s. The reason we see this is because we work in UK pensions. So if you're watching this video, it's probably towards your 55th birthday when maybe you can access your DC pension pot, or you could transfer your DB to a SIPP and you can access it. That's when you start thinking more about financial planning. But it's such a tragedy. Like the amount of clients I work with at age 54, 55, 57, they work after 6 months and they're like, wow, Dominic, I don't understand why I didn't do this earlier. Why didn't I do this 10 years ago? My finances would be so much better by now. I would most likely have much more money inside my pension pot. I'd be far more organized. I'd have my wills in place, lasting power of attorney, I have a cash flow. I would have known that actually I could have retired 5 years ago, or the opposite. I'm actually a little bit in difficulty. I need to keep working as much as I can. These are the types of things you draw out in a financial planning relationship. Now, to cut to the absolute chase, I'm a CEO of a financial advisory firm, so obviously I'm biased in saying that I think financial advisors are worth it, but this all comes down to cost. If there was no cost in working with a financial advisor, I would say that nearly everyone would have a financial advisor. Why wouldn't you? But unfortunately, people don't like to spend money. It's normal. People see a cost and they see a negative. What I can say from my experience here at Cameron James and working with clients, providing high quality advice, is having a financial advisor is a massive investment in your money. Unless you yourself are qualified and have enough time to do all financial planning on your own, then that's fantastic. For example, you are a financial advisor. But even then, how do you remove the bias from your emotions and your decisions? You cannot. Humans cannot remove emotional bias. And the amount of times I have conversations with my clients where it almost seems as though I'm coming across uncaring to them or something in their portfolio. I'm not, I'm just being unemotional. I'm being unbiased, which is what they're paying me to do. And they don't like it in the bad times, when you tell them, hold still, don't do anything, don't sell your portfolio. But then when the markets come back up again, they often send a wry joke or wry smile saying, yeah, you're right, actually, I was panicking and I shouldn't have done that. That's one of the key things that financial advisors help. And I would say there will be one moment in your career or one moment in your journey of working with a financial advisor, they will likely save you 10 or 20% just in one piece of advice. And that is normally when markets crash or markets go wild or markets are very exuberant and clients say, oh, I want to add more money, I want to add more money. Clients often react to the markets, whilst a financial advisor's job is to help people slow down. So what I can basically say is it all comes down to the quality of the financial advisor you're working with. In the UK at the moment, this is big. The FCA is coming down with Consumer Duty to make sure that you can't just charge someone a percentage per year and not do anything for it. There's a very large financial planning firm in the UK at the moment, I won't mention their name, their share price is absolutely plummeting and they are getting lawsuits coming into them because they basically have been charging people who do nothing over the course of the years. So what you really need to be careful with financial advice is understanding what are you going to get in return for that relationship. So the initial advice stage is normally very easy to understand. They're going to, for example, here at Cameron James, we're going to complete a transfer for you. We're going to set up the portfolio. We're going to get everything done at the beginning. But you need to understand what happens after that. And I would say a lot of financial advisors don't really do a lot after that. What they do is talk to you once a year about the performance of your investments, okay? But actually, that's the one thing they can't control. Yes, they can control diversification. Yes, they can control spread. Whether you're X amount in the US or X amount in the UK, yes, they can control those things, but they can't control what happens in the market. And these financial advisors are going to come unstuck because when you have bad years in the market and all you're talking about is performance, it's not going to work very well for them. What you want is a holistic financial planner like here at Cameron James. We're actually looking at everything going through a proper cash flow analysis. To use our Voyant cash flow analysis tool, there's so much detailed information that we need. It teases out so many areas of your finances. We're having a really big push here at the moment, making sure that every client has a will and a correct lasting power of attorney in place, because we've seen the opposite side of the coin. When clients pass away and their partners are struggling, their families are struggling to try and get their finances fixed. I would say that there's probably, in the very minimal situations, someone doesn't need a financial planner is when they don't really have any assets. They don't have anything to be managed, or they have a very, very small amount of money and they perhaps decided, I'm going to invest in one passive fund for the rest of my life. I'm never going to look at the portfolio and I'm going to leave it for 20 years to see what it does. I have no cash flow planning needs. I've already done my will. I've done my lasting power of attorney. I don't need any advice on mortgages. Everything is perfect in my situation, which obviously is very, very rarely not the case. Most clients, when you go through their entire situation, you ask them questions, why is that money there, or why are you doing this? And people are like, oh, I just don't know. That's just what I've been doing. Or I thought that was a good idea. I was just busy. I was with work. I had a family life, whatever. Things happen in life and people don't really get around to doing their financial planning very well. I think it's very often similar to, there's this idea with financial planning that saving cost is good, which is 100% true. But what you want to save cost on is the underlying portfolio. You can get platforms, the lower you can get your platform and your fund cost, if you're largely passively investing, the better it is. Active management, as you probably know here from Cameron James, is not really something we focus on. We're typically 80% passive and 20% active inside our portfolios for our clients. But in terms of the cost of a financial advisor, it's the one part that you really want to have a good quality financial advisor. If you have a very, very low cost financial advisor, you have to ask yourself, how are they regulated? How do they have compliance? How are they going to provide a good level of service to you with all the underlying teams and staff that are needed? So anyway, I'm biased here at Cameron James. I run a financial advisory firm, but I think the biggest thing which holds people back from having a financial advisor is cost. And unfortunately, it wreaks havoc on people's finances. You know, you have clients saying, oh, I'm going to take this interest account. Yeah, it's behind inflation. People don't understand what they're actually losing with their money. So yeah, I think it's very, very valuable having a financial advisor, but make sure you pick the correct financial advisor for your situation and be clear what that relationship is going to entail and what you are going to get on an ongoing basis. And as always, take care of your UK pension assets.